Okay, so here's something I was really curious about. What happens when you put Kling AI and MidJourney video head to head? Both of these tools turn prompts or images into animated clips, but the way they do it and the results they produce are surprisingly different. And today, we're going to compare them side by side to see exactly how they stack up. Why does this matter? Well, Kling AI has been making some serious noise. Built by Kuaishou, it's already racked up over 10 million videos generated, which is kind of insane. It's capable of text to video, image to video, AI lip sync, even audio generation. Though fair warning, the sound part still feels like early beta. The visuals? In many cases, shockingly realistic. MidJourney video, on the other hand, doesn't do text to video yet. Instead, it takes a static image and turns it into a short, moving scene. But this is MidJourney we're talking about, so you can expect some serious artistic flair baked into every frame. But here's the twist. To make this comparison fair, we're using the same starting image for both tools. Since MidJourney video doesn't accept prompts directly, we first generate a reference image using a ideogram, then pass that image into both generators. That way, we're comparing motion and style, not who had the better image input. Here's what we'll be testing. Prompt accuracy. How close the output matches the original concept. Visual realism. Does it look believable? Motion quality. Is the animation smooth and coherent? Artistic style. How polished or creative does it feel? By the end of this breakdown, you'll know exactly which one of these tools is the better fit for your projects. Let's get into it. Prompt 1. A futuristic city skyline at sunset with flying cars. For our first test, we imagine a futuristic city at golden hour. Neon-lit skyscrapers and flying cars zipping by. Here are the results. This one is by MidJourney. This video shows a significant step up in capability, introducing camera and object motion. The cars in the foreground move and exit the frame, while cars in the midground appear to fly toward the viewer. This creates a much better sense of depth and action. However, the people on the street remain largely static, which detracts from the realism. Some of the vehicles also exhibit minor warping or morphing. This video is by Kling. This video is the most impressive and dynamic of the two, demonstrating a much higher level of world simulation. Motion and dynamics is the standout feature. Not only does the camera pull back, but almost every element in the scene has independent, logical motion. Cars fly on varied paths, at different speeds, and in different directions. Crucially, the people on the street are walking, which adds an immense layer of realism and life to the city. The video generated by Kling AI is the clear winner. Prompt 2. A close-up of a woman's face, smiling, then frowning. This prompt focuses on a human face and facial expressions changing, which is great for testing consistency and natural motion on a subject. And here are the results. The video by MidJourney attempts the animation, but does so in a very rapid and unnatural way. The motion is extremely fast and exaggerated. The woman begins with a neutral look, flashes a very wide, toothy smile, and then instantly snaps into a dramatic, crying frown. The video by Kling demonstrates a far more sophisticated and nuanced understanding of human expression. The transition is slow, subtle, and incredibly believable. The video from Kling AI is unequivocally the winner. Prompt 3. A person roller skating down a street. Here, we challenge the models with fast motion and prompt accuracy. This video by MidJourney attempts to create motion, but it fails on both accuracy and coherence. Her feet slide erratically on the pavement with no sense of physics, weight, or momentum. Another thing that critically failed is where the woman appears to start with roller skates on her feet, But as she begins to move, the roller skates vanish. This video by Kling is a stunning success. The motion is not only fast, but also complex, varied, and physically believable. The woman pushes off with her legs, glides, gracefully executes a full 360-degree spin, and continues to skate. Her arm movements for balance, the turn of her head, and the flow of her dress all feel synchronized and natural. The video generated by Kling AI is the decisive winner and is in a completely different class from the other. Prompt 4. A dog running along a beach. This scene tests how each AI handles animals in motion and a natural environment. This video by MidJourney attempts the motion but struggles significantly with realism and coherence. The dog's gait is highly unnatural. It appears to be sliding or floating towards the camera rather than running. While its legs are moving, the movements are not coordinated and don't create a believable sense of propulsion. Its face, and particularly its ears, warp and morph in size and shape as it runs. This video by Kling is a remarkable achievement, demonstrating a strong grasp of both animal locomotion and physics. The animation of the running gait is excellent. The dog has a powerful, believable stride, with clear extension and contraction of its legs. The motion is fluid, dynamic, and accompanied by a cinematic camera pan that follows the action. The video from Kling AI is the clear and definitive winner. Prompt 5. A waterfall in a lush jungle with mist in the air. Natural scenes like waterfalls test an AI's ability to render fluid motion and complex textures. We wanted to see clarity, smooth movement of water, and overall atmosphere. This video by MidJourney is a good example of a high-quality cinematograph style of animation. The water in the waterfall and the swirling pool at its base are animated. The motion is relatively smooth, but appears somewhat repetitive, like a short, seamless loop. It gives the impression of movement, but it lacks the complex, non-repeating patterns of a real waterfall. The leaves, the vines, and the shafts of light are frozen in place. In Kling, the water animation is significantly more complex and realistic. The flow of the waterfall is varied and non-repeating, and the churning of the water in the pool below feels more powerful and chaotic. You can clearly see mist rising from the impact of the falls, which adds another layer of realism. The entire scene is alive. The beautiful God rays, sunbeams, are not static. They shimmer and change subtly as they would when passing through atmospheric mist. The video generated by Kling AI is the clear winner by a significant margin. Prompt 6. A busy street market with many people and colorful stalls. This prompt is all about complexity. Multiple human figures, lots of objects, and vibrant colors. And here are the results. The video by MidJourney attempts to create a sense of a busy street, but struggles significantly with the complexity of the crowd. The primary motion is a camera pulling back as the main subject, the woman in the hat, walks away. However, the other people in the scene do not move realistically. They appear to slide or shuffle on the spot rather than walk. Their leg movements are often disconnected from their bodies, creating a very unnatural gliding effect. The video by Kling excels in managing complexity. The scene is filled with numerous people, and each one appears to be moving with purpose. The main subject interacts with a fruit cart. Another woman walks into the frame and passes behind her, and other shoppers move in both directions in the background. The consistency is exceptional. The video from Kling AI is the decisive winner. This test was all about handling complexity, and Kling demonstrated a far superior capability in this area. Prompt 7. A surreal dreamscape with melting clocks, Dali style. Time to test artistic style and abstract content. This prompt is inspired by Salvador Dali's famous imagery of melting clocks. It's an expressive, non-realistic scene with warped shapes and a dreamlike vibe. We want to see which AI best preserves a creative art style in motion. This video by MidJourney interpreted the prompt by introducing a realistic external force into the surreal scene. The model keeps the melting clocks themselves static, treating them as fixed, surreal objects. The primary animation is the ocean's foam, which washes up the beach, flows over the clocks, and then recedes. The vibe becomes less about the strangeness of time melting and more about these strange objects simply being washed over by a tide. The artistic style is preserved in the static parts of the image, but the style of the motion, the foam, doesn't quite match the painterly quality of the clocks. This video by Kling takes a much more interpretive approach, choosing to animate the surreal nature of the clocks themselves. It brings the entire painting to life. Instead of adding an external force, it makes the melted parts of the clocks gently shimmer and flow, as if they are made of a thick, viscous liquid like mercury or honey. Crucially, the hands on the clocks themselves are also moving, often at different, non-standard speeds, which perfectly enhances the theme of warped time. The video from Kling AI is the clear winner because it demonstrated a superior artistic interpretation of the prompt. Prompt 8. A 2D cartoon character dancing happily. Now we test a cartoon animation style. Essentially, can these generators maintain a flat, illustrated look and animate it? This is very different from photorealism. And here are the results. The MidJourney video does a good job of keeping the flat, illustrated look. The colors and line work remain consistent with the source image, and it doesn't try to add unwanted 3D depth or realistic textures. The animation of the dance is the primary weakness. The movement is jerky, repetitive, and lacks any sense of rhythm or flow. It looks less like a person dancing and more like a digital puppet with limited points of articulation being moved through a few set poses. In Kling's video, the retro cartoon style is perfectly preserved, and animation is where the video shines. The dance is fluid, energetic, and full of character. The movements are varied, transitioning smoothly from one step to the next with a clear sense of rhythm and timing. In this round, while both models successfully kept the cartoon art style, the video from Kling AI is the decisive winner due to its vastly superior animation quality. Prompt 9. A warrior drawing a sword in anime cartoon style. Now we try an anime-style action scene. Anime has a distinct look, sharp lines, specific shading, and fast action. And here are the results. In MidJourney video, the individual frames capture the anime aesthetic quite well, with sharp lines and appropriate cell shading. However, the style breaks down completely once things start moving. The action is chaotic and makes no logical sense. The character starts by holding a massive, oversized sword. He then cycles through a series of jerky, disconnected poses. In the middle of this, the giant sword simply vanishes and a completely different, smaller sword appears in his hand. In Kling's video, while perhaps slower paced than typical anime action, it demonstrates a far superior understanding of sequential action and consistency. It is also the winner here because it created a logical and coherent narrative through motion. It understood that drawing a sword is a sequence of events. Prompt 10. A red sports car racing down a highway at night, with motion blur. Finally, for a high-speed scenario in low light, a fast-moving car and nighttime conditions. And here are the results. MidJourney created a dynamic video, but it misinterpreted the core action. Instead of showing a car racing through an environment, it showed the environment rushing away from the car. The sense of speed is primarily created by a fast camera pullback or zoom out. Kling's video showcases a much more sophisticated and cinematic understanding of how to depict a high-speed vehicle. The sense of speed is powerful and masterfully executed. Instead of a simple zoom, the AI has generated a classic cinematic tracking shot where the camera moves alongside the car. The lighting and reflections are exceptional. The video from Kling AI is the clear and resounding winner in this round as well. Alright, so we've put these AI video generators through an absolute gauntlet. We've tested them with photorealism, complex physics, surreal art, and stylized cartoons. And after seeing all the results side by side, the conclusion is not just a close call, it's a landslide. MidJourney is a true video generator that understands the need for motion. But as we saw, it's haunted by the classic ghosts of AI video: the uncanny valley, morphing faces, poor physics that make characters slide instead of run, and a critical lack of object permanence. It gives us a glimpse of the future, but a future that still feels buggy, inconsistent, and dreamlike. And then, in a league of its own, we have Kling. Across every single test, the difference wasn't just incremental, it was a massive leap in capability. It didn't just create flying cars, it created a living city with pedestrians walking below. Based on this comparison, Kling AI is operating on a fundamentally more advanced level, delivering a quality of coherence, realism, and artistic interpretation that the others simply cannot match right now. But that's my take. What do you guys think? Which clip blew you away the most? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.